If you're over 50 and you've quietly accepted that feeling weaker, softer, and more tired is just how it goes now, I need you to stop and listen, because that belief might be the single biggest thing keeping you stuck. The truth is, most of what men your age have been told about testosterone is wrong, and one of these 5 myths is probably running your life right now without you even realizing it. I've spent years in the men's health world, talking to men just like you, and I keep seeing the same false stories repeated like gospel. So today I'm going to walk you through the 5 biggest testosterone myths that keep good men weak after 50. And stay with me, because the 5th one is the most damaging of all, and it's the one almost nobody talks about. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's start with myth number 1. It's just aging, so there's nothing strange about it. Here's the half-truth buried inside this one. Yes, testosterone naturally declines with age. On average, levels drop a little less than 1% per year after about 30. That part is real. But here's what most men miss. That slow, gentle decline is not the same thing as feeling exhausted, foggy, and flat by your early 50s. When the drop is steep and the symptoms are loud, that's often a signal that something in your lifestyle, your sleep, your stress, or your metabolism is accelerating the process. Aging sets the baseline. Your daily habits set the speed. Blaming everything on the calendar lets the real, fixable causes hide in plain sight. So the question isn't, am I getting older? Of course you are. The real question is, am I aging faster than I have to? That leads straight into myth number 2. Testosterone replacement therapy is the only real fix. Now, I want to be careful and fair here, because TRT is a legitimate medical tool, and for some men with clinically diagnosed low testosterone, it can be genuinely life-changing. I'm not here to bash it, but the idea that a prescription is the only door is simply not true, and it quietly convinces men they have just 2 options: medicate or suffer. The reality is that your body is constantly producing and regulating hormones based on the signals you send it every single day. Before you ever think about pharmaceuticals, there's an enormous amount of ground to cover in how you sleep, how you eat, how you move, and how you manage stress. For a lot of men, optimizing those foundations first can support healthier natural levels in a way they never expected. TRT is a tool, not the only tool, and certainly not the first one to reach for. And to be clear, never start or stop any medication without talking to your own doctor. Now, myth number 3, and this one's sneaky because it sounds so appealing. I'll just take a supplement and the problem is solved. I get the appeal. Pop a pill, fix the issue, move on with your day. But here's the honest truth. No capsule on earth works in a vacuum. Certain natural ingredients may help support your body's own hormone production, but they work best as part of a bigger picture, not as a magic shortcut that lets you ignore everything else. Think of it like this. A supplement can be the spark, but you still need fuel and oxygen for a fire. If you're sleeping 5 hours, living on processed food, carrying extra weight around your middle, and never lifting anything heavier than your phone, no supplement is going to outrun all of that. The men who see real change are the ones who use natural support to amplify good habits, not replace them. And speaking of habits, if you want faster, longer-lasting results, I've put the exact natural support I recommend in the link below this video. It's the same approach I walk men through every day, so go check it out when we're done here. Okay, myth number 4. Cardio is enough. I walk, I do my steps, I'm covered. Listen, I love that you're moving. Walking is fantastic for your heart, your mood, and your longevity, and I never want you to stop. But here's what most men over 50 get wrong. Endless cardio alone does very little to signal your body to build and maintain muscle, and muscle is deeply connected to your hormonal health. When you lift, when you challenge your muscles against real resistance, you send a powerful message to your body that strength is still needed. That signal is linked to healthier testosterone activity and better metabolic function. After 50, you naturally start losing muscle faster, and that loss can drag your energy and your hormones down with it. So the fix isn't more jogging, it's adding resistance. It doesn't have to be a fancy gym, bands, body weight. A couple of dumbbells in the garage 2 or 3 times a week. That's the kind of stress your body actually wants. Now here's the big one. Myth number 5. The most damaging belief of them all. I'm too old. Nothing can really be done now. This is the myth I hate the most, because it's not just wrong, it's a trap. The moment a man decides his best days are behind him, he stops trying. He stops lifting, stops cooking real food, stops protecting his sleep, stops believing change is possible. And then, of course, things get worse, which feels like proof that he was right all along. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I've watched men in their 60s and even their 70s turn things around in ways they thought were impossible, not because of some miracle, but because they finally rejected the lie that it was too late. Your body is remarkably responsive at any age. The cells that respond to strength training, the systems that regulate your hormones, the mechanisms that build energy, they don't have an expiration date stamped on them. They're waiting for the right signals. The only thing that's truly too late is the day you stop sending them. So let's pull this together. It's not just aging, you can change the speed. TRT isn't the only fix, it's one option among many. Supplements don't work alone, they amplify good habits. Cardio isn't enough, you need resistance. And the idea that nothing can be done is the most expensive myth you'll ever believe. Notice the pattern running through all 5. Every one of these myths gives you permission to do nothing, and doing nothing is exactly what keeps men weak after 50. The men who stay strong, energized, and vital into their later years aren't lucky, and they don't have better genes. They simply stop believing the stories that told them to give up. If today opened your eyes, then take the next step instead of letting this fade by tomorrow. I put the natural support I trust and recommend right in the link below this video, so click it, take a look, and start stacking the odds back in your favor. You've got far more control than anyone told you. Here's what I want you to walk away with. You are not too old, you are not broken, and you are not finished. You're a man who simply hasn't been given the full truth until now. Start with one change this week, stay consistent, and let momentum do the rest. And remember, everything I've shared today is general education to help you ask better questions, not medical advice. So partner with your own doctor on what's right for you. Now go take care of yourself. You've earned it.